Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. This was the main event, as was supposed to be. We did, when we were on like Sunset Boulevard, we did see the billboard up there is Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. That must have been awful for them.
Yeah.
Really.
Because
that you are told you are the main eventers,
Yeah.
That's something that so few people over the years can say that they were. Miz, obviously.
But it's the only show on earth where they could make that change so late in the show.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
really is.
insane, really, when you think about it.
And it also talks about, really, the power of the main event storyline that really overtook them, and just how unprepared they were for it. That this wasn't planned months out, that this was changed pretty much the week of, because they just felt, we've got to do the right thing. I respect WWE's decision-making process in that, which is they do understand what the people want, and they do understand that the people who pay for the tickets have to be served. Yeah. And they don't have a thing of going, well, we will force through this women's main event. There's a possibility they might turn on it, but that's what we've decided and we're in charge. Yeah. They do look at it until the last minute and just sort of go, we think this would be better, so let's do it. And you'd go, what about all the posters? And you just go, Morris, shut up. It's not fucking helpful at this stage, mate. It's not helpful. They do such a good job. I think they were upset, and they were determined to make it clear that they could, if not should, have been the WrestleMania main event. They shouldn't have been. They absolutely shouldn't have been. But they make it clear that had they been, they would have delivered a really, really good match. And do you know what? This worked so well in that you get an incredible main event followed by an even better incredible main event. And all of it is just brilliant.
Rhea thinking about Riptide. Charlotte countered into a DDT. What a move for the win. Hooks the leg. Rhea kicks it too. My God.
I really like Charlotte Flair without actually liking her. Her matches are always really good, and yet I find her cold, and I don't ever look forward to a Charlotte Flair match. And then when it starts, I always go, she's really good at this. She's like a sort of, in a video game back in the 90s, where you'd have 5 levels. And she's like the level 3 boss, who for some reason is harder to beat than the ones at 4 and 5. And they just have her basic thing. She never has angles where she's taking on someone because they've stolen her hair rollers, or they've borrowed a car and they've scratched it. They always have it that she is the champion and she doesn't want to lose the belt, or she is the challenger and she wants to take that belt. She is the only modern day wrestler who actually cares about titles.
But is that because she just wants to beat her dad's records, and so she loses? So it's almost like hot-shotting her belts because she loses them all the time. So it's like
it's
I want to lose them so I can win them.
There's also part of me that she's like a businesswoman, isn't she? You slightly get the impression when you see someone like Jade Cargill, it is done much more explicitly, where she is like, I am here for the money, I am here for who's going to take my belt? Who's going to take my belt? Charlotte does all that without saying it. It's just a thing where you have to watch her for 2 years and you just go, she's the Jade Cargill character who never mentions it. It's a weird little thing.
Do you not think with this match, with these two characters, this match would have been and should have been the main event if one was the baddie and one was the goodie?
Absolutely.
This character does not work for either of these fuckers.
This is so true, because Rhea Ripley is in the Judgment Day and is supposed to be a bad guy, but the crowd love her. And when she gets love from the crowd, she's like, I'm going with that. Charlotte Flair, I'm never sure if she's a good guy or a bad guy, but whatever happens is when the match goes on, people start going, oh, she's really good, and they get behind her. So in this, there was no sense of who the crowd was behind. It just changed. So it's a funny mixture of people who don't fit into a box. That, in a weird way, made it good, because it became about not that thing of going the good guy and the bad guy. It became about two people having a sporting contest in an attempt to prove that they were the top of the business. And it did make it an intense and exciting match, but I get exactly what you mean. And this one, this blew everything else out of the water. It's an all-female match. 2 competitors are female, the referee is female, and the ring announcer was female. That fact is announced by the 2 male commentators. They could easily have changed that and they would have really had a full house, but they decided not to. It would have been amazing if Cole and Corey Graves had spent the entire match just saying, I think Rhea was prettier 3 years ago when she had blonde hair. It's just been the worst. Let's go that. Charlotte's got long legs, hasn't she? But I don't like women with long legs. So go, what do you like? You're really good sexist
Lollering
thing.
It up. I very much liked Charlotte Flair. She comes out in this massive puffer jacket, and she looked like that AI Pope picture that was kicking
of the Pope. That's exactly. It's so funny how
Rhea admitted it, Corey, that Charlotte Flair is a star. Rhea Ripley needs this moment to become a star. Rhea understands the importance of this match to her future and the entire future of the women's division here at WWE.
I mean, it was brilliant. It starts a bit slow, and you think, oh no, they're doing their main event that didn't happen and no one wanted to see. But, I mean, it just never lets up. It's a really good physical match. This constantly going back and forth. No wasted time whatsoever. And Flair is very charismatic in a old-school wrestling way. She seems like one of those funny things, a big arena performer. And so on television, she can seem a little bit sort of almost glassy-eyed. But in a big room, she commands that crowd at a level that very few other modern performers do. And Ripley is so good in this as well. A great seller. Really, really good at selling, Ripley. And both of them are tough. So when they do the selling, neither of them do the slight sort of Sasha Banks, selling. They do the real grizzled Japanese veteran, huffy puffy, I've got to dig down selling. And I thought it was brill.
With Charlotte up, Charlotte down, face first, Rhea cover to win the championship here tonight at WrestleMania, and again a kick out.
There's a funny thing that happens in here as well, which is it's hard to have a classic match if you don't have a move that goes a little bit wrong and you recover from. And it's almost like if you don't go wrong, it's like you're not going at it full balls out.
Fair.
You're holding back. Now, the first time something happens is Ripley does a German suplex on Charlotte Flair. And Corey Graves starts shouting, oh my God, she landed right in her face. She landed right on her face. And she didn't. But somehow he's willed that into happening. And moments later, Rhea Ripley does a German suplex on her, and Charlotte Flair goes over but lands full on her face. And from that moment on, she's got a nose that looks like a fish finger. It's really sort of square.
I don't know how she's
blocky.
managed to sort of, on the bridge of her nose, take the skin off. Oh, I bet that's fucking sore. Oh.
Corey Graves called that a brush burn. He said she got a brush burn on her nose. And I was like, save your insider lingo, Graves.
Brush burn.
Actually, I wrote it down. I was like, oh, that's interesting to know that, but it's from Graves. Do you know, I'll be using it all the time where I'll constantly go, I brush burn my knee. And I'll have to explain it every time. And I'll think of Graves and I'll go, damn you, Graves. Her face starts looking quite different in the match. It's a funny thing where you're sure she must have broken her nose and it's going to be all wonky. It isn't. No. But her eyes have gone small and she just doesn't look the same as she did before it happened. Really weird. There's a little bit of a riptide from Rhea Ripley. She does her sex pin and the place explodes when Charlotte Flair kicks out. It's so nice when you hear one of those things where a crowd goes 1, 2, oh! And then it doesn't die away as a noise because it's all of them turning to each other and going, fucking, I really thought that was going to be the bit. And I love that bit where you get the big explosion of, oh, and then the excited chatter after it. And that really happens there. And it's just, I mean, a great last 5 minutes. It just really is. There is absolutely brilliant, intelligent bits. Charlotte Flair gets her figure 4 on, is about to go for her figure 8, and Rhea Ripley is just racing to the ropes. There's no bits where she gets dragged back. There's no lying there going, can I inch my way over? She's just straight to the ropes, like, get this fucking thing off me. All of it is really, really good. It ends with a riptide off the top, a sex pin, and then Ripley wins the SmackDown women's belt. Just a great match. A great match. Michael Cole says, one of the darndest, most physical, most incredible championship matches I've ever seen. And Corey Graves goes, I'll do you one better. That's one of the best matches I've ever seen. You fucking I actually like all matches, Cole. It was a really shitsy build thing.
Actually, I think women could actually fly a plane, so I think...
Yeah.
That is one of the damnedest, the most physical, the most incredible championship matches I've ever witnessed. I'll agree and do you one better. That's one of the best matches I've ever witnessed. Period. Bar none. Congratulations.
It sounds like Graves thought that Michael Cole was going to say, this is one of the damnedest, most physical, most incredible women's matches I've ever seen. And then Graves was ready to come in and go, I'll do you one better. One of the best matches. But Cole says, one of the most physical, most incredible championship matches I've ever seen. And I think it's too late for Graves
to jam it in.
Take that in before he's already pressed the button. And I think that's one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Graves,
all right. I know where you're coming from, Graves.
And I want you to watch this, Corey, because in Rhea Ripley's homeland of Australia,
We then cut to a load of Aussies who are shouting, 1, 2, 3.
12 p.m. It's 12 p.m. there. Good God.
I mean, wherever you go in the world, Pete, all these wrestling fans just look the same.
They
all look the same. Flair at the end of this is genuinely happy. She's sitting outside the ring on the floor, and she is smiling and crying and sort of shaking with a bit of both. She knew this was an absolute cracker of a match. But it is a bit Hulk Hogan-y to sit there and sort of go, I'm so pleased with what I pulled off. You know, that was really great. You guys are going to be talking about this for a long time because we absolutely rocked this place. It does fit in with her character that she is not a character, that she's just like, I lost the belt, but I'll get that back. I'll get that.
We'll Flair. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense.
It is still the picture on the network when you click on.
Really, right? Okay,
WrestleMania.
Interesting.
This has still got the picture of Rhea Ripley and Charlotte.
Oh, gone for our YouTube figures then. Yes. Saw what Rhea Ripley's sexual awakening video did for us.
There was a great thing that I saw you'd sent me the other day, which was the search terms by which people had found our WrestleMania YouTube page.
Just the worst.
And it was all Rhea Ripley and an extra word, which would be Rhea Ripley sex, Rhea Ripley,
Mami,
nude,
all that stuff.
Nude.
Why it's to typing into YouTube and wanting sex or pornography to come out?
Isn't it?
It's YouTube.
You might as well. The funny thing is, you're better off literally using Ask Jeeves, right? YouTube is, let me tell you, not going to have a load of pornography on it.
Just
you know,
not.
Because everywhere else does.
It's the one place you can't do it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, fucking more. Then they find our thing, then they give it a thumbs up, and then I go, actually, they're all right. They're all right.
Put your cock away, awkwardly handling a handful of semen, and just and I'll watch it for the opinions.
Yeah, you guys are okay. Yeah,
Thanks,
cheers,
mate.
horrible, lonely sex man.